So, Andres, I think the other thing I want to talk about is how we transitioned you from our physio side and physical therapy into more of the training aspect. Because one of your goals was, I want to get back into doing these things that require weight, and you want to get stronger.
Yes.
You also want to lose body fat too.
Yes, yes. Well, I mean, I think for me, like I had always like poo-pooed, like not poo-pooed, like I had ignored or been afraid of using weights because of the injuries.
Yes.
So that's why I had always mostly stuck to my own body weight. So like doing pushes and pull-ups. But it's because I never had proper training or support from somebody to do it. And again, so it's almost like the best of both worlds. Like you have a personal kind of trainer person, somebody has that skill set, but that can also has the physiotherapy approach. So like
Yes.
I love that combination.
Hybrid, yeah.
Exactly. And so I felt like very comfortable learning, like being coached on how to do certain activities. And once I began to learn my techniques, like, okay, I can just do this and repeat them. And then every few weeks we would tweak it and adjust it, or
Yeah.
if something happened, but it gave me a framework that I could follow. Like once you have clarity, it's easy for people to follow. And so like
Absolutely.
having that clarity that we created together helped me. And so nowadays, like, I mean, like I'm looking forward to like using my dumbbells or,
That's
like,
great.
and like my home gym that I'll hopefully set up in the near future as I move to another country.
That's right. We're gonna miss you, by the way. I will miss you at least.
I'll miss you too.
It's funny because I would say that, and I've mentioned this before on other episodes, but in the longevity research, and if you look at anything from Dr. Peter Attia, what we know is that the more strength that we have in our younger years, and that could be wherever you're starting, maybe you're 30 or 40 or 50, I don't know. And what we know is that if we can add load, add muscle to our frames, the likelihood of us becoming or staying independent and mobile when we're 70 and 80 is very, very high. And so for me, I was an endurance athlete for most of my life, and I started taking up lifting very seriously about 2 years ago. And now I'm getting back into endurance stuff, but going with a different sort of foundation. And I'm running faster and harder than I ever have, which is interesting.
Nice.
And at the same time, I'm also not wrecking myself and always being tired from doing cardio all the time. So I think I've finally found this balance for myself personally, and I think you're on that track as well.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, and the way you share the story also makes me think about something that I guess is unique to our experience here is that the way you talk about the research, like you bring this like science-based approach. And remember, like in our sessions, you kind of talk about, this article said this, or, something about the ankle or whatever. Like you're able to bring in your experience in Colombia and other places to really kind of do that, which again, as somebody who's perhaps nervous to kind of explore this, like it brings credibility to what you're doing. So it's not just like the nice human-centered approach, but also the science backing.
Yeah. It's funny because I have found that this is my 22nd or 23rd year, I think, in practice. And I still love what I do. I still get curious about how to help people. And I've told this to other new grads, like the way that you get confident and the way that you gain trust very quickly with your patient is that you got to be curious about what's going on with them. And that curiosity will drive you to look at the research and drive you to find out more information, because we don't have all the answers all the time. I still have things I have to look up sometimes because I'm getting old, but also because I also want to stay above, what's going on right now, and always be fresh on other things, other technologies that we can bring to practice that will help to elevate our game clinically and also create a bigger moat around us versus other traditional PT practices.
Well, I think that's also, again, like, you care about this, you care about other people. And like that's different than just going to any PT who's like, it's just a job for them.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like when you care about what you do, because it's almost like it's an art form. It's a science and an art form that you really invest your life into, like perfecting. That comes across, and that you can see the impact.
That's cool. And I'm so glad you said that, because my life goal, especially as I'm getting older now, has been how many more lives can I impact personally, and how many more lives can my practices also impact other lives. Because we're in Cary, we're in Cliff Lake, New Jersey, and in Montclair, New Jersey. And I'm thinking like, wow, if we have more like-minded people among our team members, and how many more lives can we impact in the communities? How much better care can we provide than the traditional PT approach?
Well, I think, life's hard and the world's pretty intense right now. And I think, again, if we're not feeling well physically, emotionally, but especially physically, we can't be aligned. Like I'm much more likely to snap at my kids and be angry at them if I have a pain, because I'm spending energy trying to like cope with the pain. So if we're able to kind of physically feel okay and feel well, we can be more patient with each other. We can find time to enjoy other things. So I think it's, the impact that it has, it's huge.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you said that, because I think a lot of parents out there, both, fathers and mothers, we get caught up in taking care of our families and everyone around us, and we don't focus on ourselves, which is natural. But I think we become better parents and better human beings.
Yes.
Like you said, by taking care of our physical health, whether it means eating right.
Yep.
Because if you're putting garbage in yourself, I think we all know this.
Yes.
And yes, I do have my vices too. So don't get me wrong. But if most of the time I'm eating good, I'm eating well, I'm getting enough protein.
Yep.
I'm lifting, I'm running, doing the things that keep my body in check.
Yep.
I know that I can be the best husband, father, and business owner that I can be.
And as a therapist, also plugging in also mental health and also spiritual health. So I mean, like it's just like health in general. You know, like if we have our health aligned, but really starting with our body and our mind, you know, and our soul, all three, I would say. Like we got to make. How do we spend time to take care of those aspects during our routine? We can't be there for other people, our children, our partners, whoever it is, if we're not there for ourselves.
Definitely. And I think just because, and it's funny because you and I are both early risers, and I think we've joked about how when other people think of early, they think of like 8 a.m. I'm like, I've already had breakfast, my first lunch maybe, I don't know. And it's I think setting that tone for the day by saying, hey, listen, I'm going to take care of myself first.
Yes.
Because I know that the rest of the day people are going to rely on me.
Yeah.
So I got to be there for myself first.
And it's just hard. I mean, for anybody listening that probably has young kids, you know, my kids are 5 and 7, you know, like it's so unpredictable. Like, you know, after day starts, after 8, like, I'm going to work out at 5. And it's like, no, something happens to the kids, something like unexpected. The car breaks down. And it's like, but if you do it from like 4 to 6, there's nobody awake except you in the house. I mean, I love that space.
Yeah.